Hello, Miss Leila. My name is Nurjan Mirzaeva, and today I will be conducting your interview. Our topic of discussion is decreasing social media screen time among students. And first, I have to ask you if you're aware that this interview is on the record and will be shared with other people.
Yes,
So you give permission to be recorded?
yes.
Okay, perfect. And now, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little more about the work that you do?
Hello, Nurjahan. I am Leila Novruzova. I'm working in international school in Baku, Oxbridge Academy, as the secondary school psychologist. And basically, I'm working with the teenagers. I have a degree in psychology. And I had an experience of working with the teenagers in Turkey, Ankara, and here in Azerbaijan in different international schools.
Okay, thank you so much. So now we can jump to our questions. So I wanted to ask some general questions and then move on to some more serious ones. First of all, from your experience, how serious is social media overuse among students today?
Well, the social media overuse, it's really serious and growing issue among students and teenagers, especially. They spend several hours in a day on social media, and it becomes the main part of their lives. And yeah, and by in some point, of course, it can directly affect their development and well-being, of course.
Okay. At what point does regular social media use become an actual problem or addiction?
It becomes a problem when students cannot control their usage and when it starts affecting their mood, academic performance. Uh, if they feel anxious, restless, or uncomfortable without using their phone, so it should be an alarm that it's becoming an addiction.
Mm-hmm. How does excessive screen time affect students' mental health and focus?
Excessive screen time reduces the student's ability to focus. It increases stress and anxiety, as I mentioned before. Also, there is another problem that late night use. It disrupts the sleep, and during the next day, of course, it impacts the student's emotional stability and concentration during the day.
Mm-hmm. What impact does social media have on academic performance?
It has a big impact as social media, it leads to distraction and reduced concentration. So, for example, even the short interruptions like checking the notifications, it can lower understanding and memory. And this can result the weaker academic performance, and of course, it also impacts the motivation. It lowers the motivation for study.
Hmm. Are there long-term consequences if students don't control their screen time?
There is a long-term consequences. So beside the consequences which I mentioned before, like stress and anxiety, the emotional, like being emotionally unstable. It's also in some cases it impacts behavior. So, as you know, recently we like see from the news the that teenagers, like in several schools in the world, including our country, there have been the terror acts. And I believe that I understand that the role of social media in such behavior of teenager is also plays a big role. Of course, it's not the only reason, but uh, it impacts significantly their behavior as well.
Hmm. Why do you think students find it so difficult to limit their social media usage and screen time?
They find it difficult because social media is designed this way. So it gives the rewards like likes, comments. So it gives the communication to people. So the students, they feel themselves comfortable there. So that's why it's difficult for them to limit it.
My next question is, would you say these apps are designed to be addictive? Can you please elaborate on that?
Yes, of course, they are designed to keep users like us, the students, or it doesn't matter, everyone engaged for as long as possible because and they use their psychological principles to hold attention. They gives people always their sphere of the interest. So that's why people can't take their eyes from the screen.
Hmm. Thank you. Next, what are some realistic steps students can take to reduce their screen time?
The steps are to do it slightly. It's not like, okay, today I decided to put my phone away and I won't look anything there. It doesn't work like this. So they can set some time limits for using apps, and then by small changes, they can make a big differences over time.
Hmm. Do you think screen limiting apps actually work, or is self-discipline more important?
I think that self-discipline is more important. But of course, after having the self-discipline, after deciding that I don't want to use the screen time as long as I used before, the apps which the limiting apps can help people during that time. Uh, but first of all, first comes self-discipline.
Okay. What habits do you think students can build to replace social media and phone use in a healthy way?
They can replace social media with healthy activities like sports or the other activities. They can, if there is no time for going somewhere else except school or the university, I believe that there are some organizations inside of the schools and universities so they can involve there, take part in organizing events and so on. And also, they can spend more time with friends face to face and family, like in real life, not online.
Hmm. Is all social media use harmful, or is there a healthy way to use it? And not only social media, but phones and devices in general.
Of course, it's not totally harmful. Everything should be balanced, especially nowadays. In my opinion, I can't imagine life without the social media nowadays because it makes the life much more easier if we would use it in a right way. The communication, the apps, different apps, which makes the life easier.
How can students find a balance between staying connected and staying productive?
Uh, they can find a balance by completing their real life responsibilities first. So, first they need to do like they need to yeah. So first they need to complete their responsibilities in real life and then use the social media. So and for this they need to plan their time in a right way before.
And my final question would be, if you could give one piece of advice to students struggling with social media use, phone use, and overall high screen time, what would it be?
Um, I would advise to be mindful, to be aware that they're what they're using, what they're posting, because you know the posting the we always talk at school to our students that post like making comments or posting the things in social media, it always uh, has a footprint which can in future impact their future life or future opportunities. And I would advise them to be mindful about uh, that social media shouldn't control us, but we should control our time there.
Okay, thank you so much for answering my questions and for your time.
Thank you, Nurjahan. Thank you.